This conference will now be recorded.
List creation types, creating list from the list. All these things we completed. Creating a list from list and a nested list.
Nested list today we are going to discuss, I think.
So I think this 10, 20, 30, 40 we displayed, right?
Yeah.
This conference will now be recorded.
So we discussed about the functions in a list and nested list and everything. Today we try to understand list methods. What are the functions are different and methods are different. Do not think that both are same. And anyway, we have a couple of classes on functions separately, how to create your own function and how to create your own method and how it is going to be differentiated for both. Just for a thumb rule, after your variable dot some activity is there, that is called a method. So you can, or if you're coming to sum of, mean of, average, median of. So if there is some square bracket and entering the variable, that is going to be a function. Just for thumb rule for today. But going forward, we'll go in detail. In case if you got confused, which is a method, which is a function, we'll discuss about that. Now methods are appending an element to at the end of the list. We called as a method. Append is the function which you're going to use it to create your own. So append is the function uh, for appending some activity. It can be extend, it can be insert, it can be removal, it can be insert. So some kind of method you are going to be apply on your variable or on your list. So you have your list here. Sorry, you have a list here which is in square bracket and print x. So system is going to display the your list. Now I'm going to use a append method to append couple of other variables. So x dot append in bracket 60. Again I did print x. You can see the 60 has been assigned to append to your data, append to your list. Can I assign 60 and 70 together? In the sense, no. Append function will allow you to enter only single value, not multiple values. Hope you're clear what I'm trying to say. Amar, I want to map two numbers together. Individually, you cannot map, but using a set or a tuple, you can able to map it. You can see here, I have one more list within the append. So 10 and 20, I want to append to your existing list. So X is the existing list and append 10 comma 20. So system has been accept a list as one more variable, one more value, not as a two values. In 10 is an integer single value, 20 is an integer single value, up to 60 are single values and data type is integer. But within the list, another list can be accepted. So the 10 and 20 is nothing but single value, and that is also list. This internal list has two different objects. Hope you're clear what I'm trying to say. I cannot assign 10 comma 20 directly, but I can assign with the help of your list or set or tuple. I can able to assign append multiple values. But if you want to append as an integer, you can append one after one. Is it clear what I'm trying to say? Any questions? Now I want to extend my list, nothing but mapping two different lists, merging two lists. So if I want to go for that, then I can go with extend function. So I have x list which is 10 to 50 and which has been appended with 60. That means now my x list is 10 to 60. And I have y list which is 1 2 3 4 5. I want to match y with x. So those scenario, what I can do is I can go with extend x dot extend comma y. So my x list is got extended by y. You can see the values here 1 2 3 4 5. Append is different, extend is different. With the help of extend, I can assign multiple values together. Now you can see 1 2 3 4 5 are integers appended to your x variable by using the extend method. Clear? Any questions? And we have one more function called insert method. Insert method is nothing but inserting an element in a desired position. So I want to insert some number between or in a particular position or index position level. So for an example, in this scenario, in an index 2, I want to update 25. So if you take the entire list, wherever you have the index 2, that will be updated by 25. So you can see here 0 1 2. It is not updated the value, it is going to be adjust the value, it is going to be generate a space between 1 and 3, and it is going to be update the value as 25. It is not updating the current value whatever you have. You can see 20 and 30 it was in the second position, 30 was there, but right now I'm not overwriting my 30 as a 25. I'm just adjusting one more value between 20 and 30, and I'm inserting that. Nothing but inserting a record between two different records. Yamini and Giri are getting points.
Summer.
So if you want to delete any record from the existing data, you have two different options. Either you can go with pop or you can go with remove method. So I have a list x equal to list of 10 to 50. When I use x dot pop 3, 3 is nothing but index. Pop always recommended to go for index. Or if you're not giving 3, then it will go to the last position. The index, if you're not mentioning, is going to be last position. If you enter the position number, index number, the particular position value will be removed. 40 is removed because as per the index, 40 is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. So 40 is removed. And in the same fashion, I want to remove the value, not based on the index, because index is going to take some time for me to understand. So I want to remove the straight away some value, then go for remove option. So 20 got removed. Now there is one question for you. Which is better, pop or remove? Both are doing the same activity, right? Pop is removing and remove is removing. Which method is preferable?
Pop will remove by the index position.
Remove will based on the value.
Yeah.
Then which is recommended?
Pop.
Why not remove?
Also we can use it.
So for you, a small assignment to understand whether to go with pop or remove in when you have millions of records. Take the data for both. Same x equal to 10 to 50 you could take in a list. Enter pop position number as 7. Position index is not available, right?
Yes.
So enter pop in bracket 7. And similarly remove, enter the value of 70. 70 is not available, pop 7 index is not available. See which one is getting error and which one is accepting to display. Then you'll come to know which is recommended.
Okay.
Are you getting my point? When the data is available, both are functionality are same. When data is not available, so by seeing 5 numbers, I can see yes, data is available or not. When you have millions of records, we cannot assure whether data is available or not. So when the data is not available, whether the system has to give an error or system has to Since the data is not there, so we can negligence that. You can skip that activity and go for subsequent activity. So for that, which is recommended, pop or remove, that is going to be your assignment. So take the data from 10 to 70 and 10 to 50, and pop position supposed to be 7 or 8, some number which is not part of your index, maybe 10 or something, which is not part. Similarly, remove 100 number. 100 is not there in our list. See which one is getting error. Already given here, but still you try it. Any questions? Amar, I want to append. I want to filter the data. I can hear some background voice. Giri, can you please mute yourself? Yeah, thank you. So extract the names and sort in order to display. I want to extract only the names. I don't want anything else. So those scenario, extracting name is going to be difficult. The reason is I have the list, and within the list again I have sub list. So my first record has Amar information, second record has Yamini information, third record has Giri information. Now extracting from one list to another list, I have to do it means there is no other option. I have to go with for loop because individual information I'm expecting. So, and I need to display only the names. I don't want to display anything else. So what I did is I just created an empty list. I want only the names, so I created empty list for P in EMP. So P is going to be what? In my first record, 101 Amarnath Mumbai. This is going to be my first record. Are you agreeing with that? For loop will take each and every value and it will be displayed. I pick up to your temporary variable. So here my first record is going to be my first sublist. My first sublist is going to be 101 Amarnath Mumbai. So it is going to be stored into P. Now for the empty list called X, I'm going to be append which value? My name has to be update. So P in a P, nothing but sublist, take the first index. So P in square bracket 1. So the value whatever I have in P square 1 will be appended to the empty list called X. So it will be stored Amarnath. Again, it will go back to your for loop and pick up the second value. Second value here is nothing but second sublist. Again, it will repeat, which is going to be your index. So P1 is going to be Yamini. Yamini will be appended to your empty list. So earlier empty list was updated by Amarnath. Now it is going to be appended with Yamini. And finally, in a third iteration, my 103 Giri Hyderabad will be there, and it is going to be appended with the first index 01. Giri is going to be appended to your X list. Now when you say print X, in the sequence the iterations run, that is going to be displayed nothing but Amarnath, Yamini and Giri, but based on the order I want, ascending order, descending order. So I just taken a sorting order. Sorting is the function, not a method. That is the reason you can see sorted of X. If I use X dot sorted, that is going to be method, but this is not a method, this is a function. So sorted of X. So you can see within the ascending order you're getting the data. Any questions? Hello. Now the list we discussed, now we are coming to the next data type called tuple. So tuple is a collection of data types, hold group of values, similar like your list. List is also one of the collection data type that holds group of values. Properties of tuple. A tuple is represented by normal brackets. A list was represented by square brackets. Tuple allows homogeneous elements and heterogeneous elements. Even list will also allows homogeneous and heterogeneous. Tuple allows duplicate elements. List also allows duplicate elements. In tuple, insertion order is preserved. In list also, insertion order is preserved. Each element in tuple is identified or accessed by unique index. It can be a forward index or a backward index. In a list also, the index is the accessing by index is possible, either forward index or backward index. Tuple is immutable. List is a mutable. That means mutable in the sense, the, though you update or modify the content in the list, the address will not be changed. But when you come to tuple, when you change, the address will be changed. That is the only one difference. Clear? Tuple can be created by using a square bracket, a normal bracket, or using a tuple function. Any questions? Only point 7 is different, and rest of the points are same between list and tuple. Why am I repeating multiple times? In a sense, when you're showing some experience in organization, you should be in a position to know what is the difference between one collection data type to other collection data type. Or an interview, the interviewer may ask you what is a mutable object, or they may ask you what is the difference between list and tuple. Both are looks like same. There should be a difference, right? When I say different data type, so points and was the different. List is mutable and tuple is immutable. Immutable means address will be changed when you modify the content. So examples are same. Creating a tuple is nothing but in a normal brackets x equal to, in normal brackets, 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 50. So when you come to list, it is a square bracket. When I come to tuple, it's a normal bracket. So print of x, print type of x, print id of x, print length of x. You can see print of x, I'm getting the tuple, and type is going to be tuple, id is going to be so and so, length is going to be 5. So if you use, just for sake, if I use square brackets, everything will be the same. Class is going to be list. I use just print /t for giving some space. And now this was homogeneous list tuple. When I come to heterogeneous, I can have different type of content. So one is a string, another one is an integer, another one can be a float, or another can be a complex or a boolean. Any kind of data type I can maintain to maintain the collection data type. So print y, the same thing I maintained. You can see here heterogeneous tuple. Z equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30. It is not mandatory that tuple has some privilege. You don't need to give brackets itself. So you can see here one z value equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30. So system assumes that there is nothing but a tuple. System automatically creates a tuple. But if I come into list, set, or a dictionary, you don't have that privilege. But set tuple has that privilege. So 10 comma 20 comma 30 is nothing but, and when you're assigning to jet, system default will create a tuple. Print jet and type jet. You can see it's created as a tuple. Any questions? Am I going fast? Is it fine? Can I continue in the same pace? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. So there is another way to create. Instead of using a normal brackets, you have another way to create that is called tuple function, using a tuple function. So x equal to tuple function, nothing but empty tuple will be created like this. And type of x and length of x. Length is going to be 0 because there is no content within that, and type is going to be tuple. Not only a numerical data, even a single string can behave like a tuple. For an example, tuple of Amarnath. So each letter within the string will behave like a content. You can see here. Each letter is differentiated by comma, and each letter behave like a content for your tuple. You can see there is going to be tuple, and the length becomes as 8. Any questions? This, and similarly, like using a brackets, instead of using a brackets, I used tuple function, tuple of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, print x, type of x, and length of x. You can see the same data. Amar, can I use two different strings together to create a tuple? Like for example, tuple bracket Amar one name, one string, another string I'm giving as Paritala, my surname. So can two strings can be given to create a tuple? Means no. System will allow only one string, one parameter or one argument. So if you try to give two strings to create a tuple, system will show an error. So be cautious about that. So how can you do the slicing? Means similar like your list only, forward index and back positive index and negative index both will be accepted. So I have my tuple print of x, length of x, x square bracket 2, nothing but index 0, 1, 2. So 30 is displayed. Negative index minus 3. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. 40 is displayed. Or range also you can give. Print x in square bracket 0 to 3. So 0, 1, 2. 10 to 30 will be displayed. 3 is nothing but n minus 1. So 10 to 30 will be displayed. So in the same fashion, if you want to extract only certain particular elements, you can use slicing, extracting based on range. I'm just skipping because you're already aware of this concept. Or if you want me to go through this concept, I'll explain it. Just let me know. Since I already explained, so I'm going. And these assignments are available in this file, tupleslicing.py. Py is the extension to create any Python file, which I explained to you in the starting of the class. So every slide, every PPT with .py I mentioned, that means in the particular day which I created and the particular folder, this is the file name where you can get this file. So be cautious while selecting the file. So various functions and tuple means all the aggregate functions which are possible for list, same aggregate functions are available for your tuple also. So 30, 40, 30, 10, 40, 20, 30, 50. So this is the my list, my tuple. So print text, type of x, id of x, length of x, sum of x, max of x, min of x, sorted. So these are the functions was available for list. Same thing is available here also. So you can see here. So if you feel I'm skipping, let me know. I will take you to that once again. When you come to list, when I have two different same content for two different variables, it was showing address was different. If you remember, you can see here. My first list, second list is a square bracket, so it's a list. It is a list. X address and Y address are different. So when you say X is Y means it's written as a false. The reason is list is a mutable object. I can able to modify the content as per my wish. But when coming to tuple, tuple is an immutable object. That means the address is going to be changed when you update the content. So when you use the same content and referring to multiple variables, the address of X and address of Y will be the same. So you can see here, address will be same. So when you say X is Y, system written as true. It will not written as false, because when you update the content or modify the content, automatically address will be changed. Are you getting my point?
Yes, Amma.
So can I have tuples within the tuple? Means yes, we can have it. So earlier we discussed about list within the list. Now can I have tuple within the tuple? Means yes, we can have. You can see tuple within the tuple, tuple within the tuple, tuple list in within the tuple. So I have a list, I have a tuple within the tuple. So in the same fashion, like by using an index only, I can able to get my data. So you can see here. Now, when you see my first one, like x equal to 10 to 50 and y equal to 10 to 50, the address was same. But when I coming to this scenario, the address is different. May I know the reason? You can see the address is different. Both are tuples only, no? X and y also tuple. But within the x and y, there is a immutable object called list. So list is can be modifiable. So that is the reason the address automatically changed. Are you getting my point?
Yes, Amar.
So when you have a list or mutable objects, the address will not be same for every variable. When you have immutable objects or a content, then address will be the same. So nested tuple within the tuple, like nested list. This is a nested tuple. So you have some tuples like 10 to 30, 40 to 60, 70 to 90, three different tuples within the main tuple. So print x, you are going to see your tuple. When you say length of x, each tuple, each sub tuple will be considered as one. So the length is going to be 3. It's not going to display as 9. It's going to display as 3. One subtuple equal to 1. So I want to print subtuples. So print of x, print for loop I will use for p in x, print p, id of p and type of p. You can see you got three tuples 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and 70, 80, 90. But I want to see individual element or individual content within the p itself. So I go for nested for loop with for loop within the for loop. So for p in x, I'm going to get my first subtuple 10, 20, 30, and that one I'm going to take it as a my x content for a log for a inner for loop. So for q in p, so q has p has 10, 20, 30. From 10, 20, 30, the first element will goes to q and it is going to be print. Again, my inner loop will run once again and it will take the second element called 20 and it will be print. Again, my inner loop will run for 30. It is going to print the third element. Once my inner loop completed successfully, it will go to the main loop and pick up the second sub loop 40, 50, 60 and start printing. Any questions how it works?
Yeah, good, Amar.
Giri, what about you?
Good.
So when I come to list, I can able to modify the content like by using an index like x square bracket 1 equal to 30 or 40. That allows because that is a modifiable content. What if I come to tuple? Can I able to modify?
No, Amar.
So you can see here x 10 to 50 print of x. I can see the print of x is available. When I'm trying to add a refer or an update a new value, that is showing an error. So you can see here system will show error, type error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. So clearly the last line, whenever you're facing some error or getting some error in a Python, it's recommended to read entire error. But if you're not able to understand from entire error, go to the last line. That will give a minimum sense to us where we supposed to be change. Then once you are expert in Python, you can read all 4 lines or 5 lines. So I have a list of the elements. So modifying a tuple is not accepted, agreed. But is there any way I can change my content?
Yes.
Yes, Amar.
How?
We need to assign list and that list variable to assign again tuple.
That's all. So the same thing here. You know, so the same thing. List is there. List I assigned 85, and the other one I maintained as Amar. Any questions? Modifying a tuple, as I told you, system will show an error and everything. So tuple as a list element. What if I have tuple in a list concept? So I have a list, main list. It's not a tuple, it's a main list. In that I have a tuple 70, 80, 90. Earlier I explained in the last class, I explained a list within the list. But what if I have a tuple within the list? So we'll be able to modify my sublist. Means sublist will be modified. I don't have any problem. You can see 25 Amara has been changed. I don't have any problem to change. But what about tuple? Tuple will extend that. Tuple can be modified.
No, we cannot modify.
It can be. The reason is I'm modifying the list. Not within the list I have the tuple. I'm not modifying the tuple within the 70, 80, 90. I'm just replacing the 70, 80, 90 as Amar.
Okay.
So you can see here Amar got changed. If I want to change 70 or 80 or 90 will not be accepted. But entire value, the third position itself I am replacing. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So within the list, I can have a tuple, or within the tuple, I can have a list. Both possibilities are there. So typecasting, converting one data type to other data type. So can I able to change my list as a tuple or tuple as a list? Means I can change. So I have a list 10 to 50, which is in square bracket. I want to change as a tuple due to some reason. So I can use a tuple function, tuple of x. When you use tuple of x, system automatically convert the list as a tuple. You can see here. The first one was a list, the second one was a tuple. Just use a tuple function. What if I have a tuple x equal to tuple of 10 to 50? Can I change as a list?
No.
I'm not changing the content. I'm changing the list.
Yeah, we can change it.
So you can see here.
You're asking like a twist questions.
No, these are. I'm agreeing with you. This is the first time you are hearing these words.
Yeah.
But going for practice, you feel nothing. These are just like basics. I'm not changing the value, content. I'm changing the behavior, data type. So it will allows. So converting one data type to other data type, converting string. What if can I have a string to list? It's possible. Or that's all. We discussed about all this. So list also I explained you in the previous example, converting a string to tuple. So I have a string as x, and when you see the type, it's going to be tuple, and let's see here, it's going to be a string and it's going to be converted as tuple by using a tuple function. So that is already explained. The converting string to list, it's already explained. Converting string to tuple, done. Converting integer to list, is it possible? One of the for in Giri it is going to be an interview question, not for Amini. I don't know about Amini, but for Giri it can be an interview question. Can I convert an integer to a tuple or a list? Can I able to? Think. Time is there.
You'll ask the same question in different ways, Amar.
But thing is, if you observe here, the same question, you may expect in multiple ways, which you're not right now. You're not in a position to answer, or you know the answer, you're confusing yourself and
Yeah,
not able to answer.
I think
So
yeah, we should do integer.
integer is not an iteratable object, so cannot be converted as a list. Clear?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Good about for me.
Converting string to tuple and everything explained to you. These are examples what I given to you. Like for example, I have x1 next to x3 with the different values. I want to convert as a list or a tuple. So using a square bracket, I use convert it as a list. Using a normal brackets, I convert it as a tuple. Now, the major thing is the slide is this one for Giri and Yamini, for both of you. So when you see the differences and similarities, list will allow duplicates. Tuple also allows duplicate. That means I have a list which is 10 to 70, which where 10 is repeated multiple times. So the duplicates are allowed. But when I come to set will not allow duplicates. If you have duplicates, automatically system drop those values while doing any analysis. And index is allowed when you come to list and tuple, but index is not allowed when you come to set. That means forward index is not there, backward index is not there. So you cannot take up, you cannot able to call individual values when you come to set. Insertion order is preserved for a list and tuple, but insertion order is not available when you come to set. That means the first in first basis, the outcome you cannot able to see. The outcome can be in any form, a random number. For example, I have the list 10, 20, 30. Three numbers are there. When I'm trying to give a printout, 10, 20, 30 will be there. That means the insertion order is preserved. That reservation is there for list and tuple. But when I come to 30, set, the set print, when you say print, the 10, 20, 30 can be displayed as randomly, like 30, 20, 10, or 10, 30, 10, 20. So any order it can be displayed, random order it can be displayed. And when I come to list, it is immutable, and set also immutable object. That means the data can be updated. And when it comes to tuple is immutable. So the ID can be changed, address can be changed. And list can be, nested list is allowed. Within the list, I can have another list. Tuple also will allow nested tuple. But when I come to set, nested set will be allowed. That means nested concept is available in the three different list data types: list, tuple, and set. But list and tuple supports mutable and immutable objects. Within the list, I can have it. But when I come to set, when you say list option, it is going to allow only immutable elements. It cannot be allowed mutable elements within the nested set. Are you getting my point?
Yes, Amar.
So tomorrow we'll continue with the set function. Set and dictionaries, there are two more data types. After that, we'll enter into functions.